Hi, this is Griselda Togobo. It will help if I put on my video. Hi, this is Griselda Togobo from forwardladies.com. And this is a leadership podcast where inspirational female leaders share practical and simple strategies to help us all win in the world of work. You're in for a treat today because we've got Carmen Guzman with us today. She is a dynamic, energetic, and interesting leader. And I know you're going to get a lot out of our conversation today. So just in case you're wondering who Carmen is, Carmen is a noteworthy leader in the HR space, having studied law in Spain and then going on to the US to pursue a successful career. She's worked across Europe and Asia in multiple industries, and she's also entrepreneurial. So she started a business in China within the education sector, and Carmen has nothing but interesting and dynamic stories and strategies to share with us here today. So Carmen, thank you so much for making time to join us.
Oh, thank you so much, Griselda, for having me. Thank you.
Brilliant. So this interview, if you listen to the recording, is recorded before a live audience. If you have any questions or comments, you can pop it in the chat area and I'll go through them as we carry on the presentation, our conversation. And if you're watching us live or you'd like to join us live, you can go to the Forward Ladies website and subscribe. And you can also try out our 14-day free trial as well. So Carmen, we're digging in. So tell me, pandemic, people are losing everything, and the stories out there is having to start from scratch, having to bounce back. If you lost everything and you had to start from scratch, which I know you have done, what would you be doing right now?
Right now? Well, first of all, I think that I will try to be very positive. That's all we need. We need to be positive and think simple about life. So for me, I have done many things in my life. I have started, as you say, from scratch. I think it's just thinking what I'm good at and just go for it. Try to find goals, objectives to follow and be confident and just go for them. That's the most important thing. Have ideas. Think creativity is key to do that.
So Carmen, we know you've started your career in multiple industries and sectors. When you start a new job in a new country, in a new company, what's the first thing that you do?
Well, I think that I have worked in 9 different companies and in different sectors, and maybe it's because it's HR and that's very easy to go to different sectors. So I have always joined companies to transform. There should be a big project. They need to do something different. I love change. So I feel really confident that I can help others with change. And not everybody has this confidence.
Yes.
So they need to have people around that they feel, oh, this is not a problem. We will just go for it. So people get energized from your energy and then they want you. And in my case, the opportunities of change has been in different countries and always big companies, multinationals, that they need to do big transformations. So that's where my opportunities have been.
And you're one person who enjoys change and a challenge.
I love it. I love it. If you offer me a job and tell me, look, it's just to replace someone that was here before, that's not me. I will get sick. I need a project. I need challenges. It goes with my personal way of living. I need to solve problems, issues, and challenges that people find difficult. I don't see anything is difficult. So I love it. And that's why I feel very well thinking about change and implementing change. I think it's very simple.
Wow. There's a statement you've just made there that you don't see anything as difficult.
Mm-hmm. No.
Where does that come from? Because a lot of us see things as difficult. Some of us find day to day as a challenge. And you go in and fix things, and then you step out, and then you're still saying you find none of that. You find it exciting and energizing.
I think that, look, I started, my parents offer me a lot of opportunities to learn languages in other countries. So when I was 7 years old, was my first experience to go to Ireland and start learning English. So it was the first time I went by myself with a family for 3 months. And since then, I have been going to different countries. I learned Italian, German, and English. So I have to go to other countries and be exposed. And when I joined the first country in a new language, I'm not capable to do things. I need to find my way. I always have to find where to live, where to study. My parents throw me there. And I think I have learned all this resilience and go on. I have to do it. This is my goal. I will fight for it. So after that, it's how I've been grown up.
Yes.
Going to a new company, what I think is, okay, that's very simple. There is not really anything difficult here. It's just doing things in a different way. So you start from A and you go through all the steps and that's it. I think in general, we overcomplicate. We think everything is more difficult. I remember a case in one of the companies, the FCA was asking for something and I heard another business had a request. So I said, okay, I have to go and speak to people. So I spoke to 3 people for half an hour and I have the solution. When I told my story, how I managed it to other teams, they were over-engineering. They thought they have to put a project manager. They have to look, and I said, wait. I just spoke half an hour with 3 people. That's all. More.
But that is such an important distinction to make, because sometimes we think the solutions are just sitting there and making things up yourself. But as you've just shown us, it's going out there and speaking to people, because the solution is with somebody else. That's brilliant. So, but I'm sure you face some tough times and some challenges. And I'm sure there's been some blood, sweat, and tears along the way. So share a moment where you suffered defeat and you still managed to pick yourself back up.
Well, I will tell you, when I joined, I worked in the United States, then I came to Spain and worked for Philip Morris in Europe. And then I took another job after that in Ericsson in telecommunications. I was coming from the American culture, and this was a very Sweden culture, very different. So I was there very excited, and suddenly I thought, oh my God, this is going to be so different. The way people behave, the way they look at issues is completely different. And I cried. I promise you, I cried after being there for a couple of weeks. I felt really bad. I thought, oh my God, this is a mistake. I should not be here. But I knew there was no way back and I had to go ahead. So I decided I will reinvent myself. I will find a way to make it positive and enjoy it. I have to be here for a couple of years to sell it in the market. Otherwise, it's going to be confusing why I want to move when I arrive. And I reinvented and I thought about it in a completely different way. I decided to stay. I have to enjoy it. I have to be positive and make it nice for others. So just reinventing myself, I went up. I was there for 2 years and it worked really well. It's one of my best experience, I have to say now.
Wow. So you've used 2 words that I like to pick up on. So you've used the word reinventing yourself. And you've also used the word selling your story. I mean, the 2 words, selling your story, quite a lot. So tell me about that process of reinventing yourself when you hit a mental barrier and you realize that actually the thinking that got me here has to change, has to shift. What do you do to help you just realign your thinking around that challenge? And then what do you do what are your top tips for selling your story?
Because I think I'm a fighter and I have a strong resilience. I feel that even if I'm not feeling something is not right for me, there are other people who are going through more difficult moments. So I don't think it's right at all to feel bad. This cannot be so bad compared to other things. So I don't have the right to feel like that. I just have to move on and make it right. So I don't have time to lose. It's not fair for others that I'm wasting my time just thinking I am going through a difficult moment. And I go through my own reflection, and that's how I do it. And and there is always something good that I have not been able to see yet that is there. And I think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So if it has happened and I have to be here, there is something I have to learn from this experience. So go for it. And I changed my mind and go.
Wow. And then when it comes to telling stories, so you are good at selling your story because you managed to find a job in 9 different industries, working for, is it 6 different CEOs at one company? So how have you managed to get those jobs and those roles every single time?
I am very honest. Okay. This is what you get. This is the product I'm selling, and this is what you can get. But you know, I love my job in HR. So I think this is critical because I do what I love to do. And if I don't love it, I will not do it. So that put me in a very privileged situation. I am lucky enough to work in the place where I like and doing what I like to do. So the energy that I transmit to people, it's because I believe on what I do. Yes. And I really enjoy it. So you can see that. And I prepare myself very well to sell my story. I have to say, people, they think, oh, it's my story, it's easy. No, I don't think so. You need to prepare yourself for the message you want to send. It depends very much on the company. It depends on the project. It depends on the people that you are talking to. You need to build the story in a different way, depending on the people you are going to talk to. But always being really realistic and always telling the truth. Because if they don't like the way you are, you don't want to be there. Because you want to be it successful for you and for them.
Yes.
It has to work.
But you know what? Sometimes people have this perception that to sell something, you have to embellish it. You have to make it look better than it is. You have to, fake it till you make it. And so a lot of people have this misconception that honesty and truthfulness does not sell because they don't want to meet the real you. They want to buy a package of Carmen and then the real Carmen probably turns up. That's what happens when we interview people. A different person comes for an interview and then a week into the job, the real person turns up and you just think, what happened there?
I think you have to influence people to think different. Normally, I feel I'm different, an HR person to others. And normally, people who are interviewing me will think, oh, she's different. But I have to make it look positive and influence them, what I can offer. So while I am selling the product, I'm influencing others to also think differently. Because if we don't think differently about things, we will never evolve.
No.
And as part of me, has to show others that things can be done differently and be positive. And this is part of my change mindset. So it's part of the way I sell the story. I'm not going to sell you something fake, but I'm going to sell you what are the properties of this new product that is different and what is good about the product. That's what I do. And people like it.
We love it. I mean, I met you once and I thought I just love Carmen. And Nana, who introduced us, also loves you. So obviously what you're doing really works. I wanted to touch on another issue around professionalism, because sometimes when I run my programs, the women on the program say, I'm from Portugal, I have an accent, so I'm struggling. I think I'm not getting the jobs or the opportunities because of my accent or because I don't have the cultural insight. And I have to become this English person to be able to do that. Now, you are authentically yourself. And you've said yourself when we were chatting before that your English, this is as best as it's going to get. But obviously, that hasn't stopped you in any way, working in the US, working in non-English speaking countries. You found a way to just make things work for yourself. So what do you have to tell others? I face this question in every single continent that I go to.
Well, I agree with you. I'm not going to tell you that's easy. You have an accent and you know that your English is not perfect. Obviously, you think, I'm going to be in a weak position for whatever, okay, in comparison to others. But, that's what I tell myself. If I have been successful in all these different jobs and I've been with this accent and I can do it, I can do it. And I think the world is even more and more diverse.
Yes.
And I think we are lucky, and that's how everybody should think, is that diversity, companies have realized now more than ever that diversity enriches them.
Yeah.
So I think we have an opportunity now. We are different because of the language, but we bring something different, a different mindset, a different culture. It's the only way that companies will be successful is because they are diverse. And I really believe in that. And I came from Spain to live to the UK to give this diversity mindset to my kids.
Yes.
I could have stayed there, but I want them to think big. In my country, everybody's the same. You don't see diversity the same way you see it here. I don't want that for my kids. And that's why I wanted to live in a country that accepts diversity much more.
Yes.
And we have to build it. We are part of this diversity. So I think people just have to forget about these things and move on and enjoy. You are what you are. And there is always add value for everybody, in every team, in every company. So let's be confident that things can happen. We have to believe. If we don't believe in ourselves, we will never be able to make it happen.
Fantastic. Oh my God, that's exactly the answer I wanted. So for anyone who is listening and still not sure about what you're bringing to the table, just remember that we all have an intrinsic value. We all always have something to contribute. So on the topic of leadership, I have seen how you relate to your team, and it's just beautiful to see. So when you start a new job and you're assigned a team, or you have to build your own team, what's the first thing you do to make sure that actually the team stays together and feels inclusive in the journey? Because you go in to change things. You're the person that goes in to make things happen, and then you step out. So how do you build your teams to make sure that they are with you throughout the journey?
I have to say that still I have relationship with everybody on my teams in the past. So something has gone right with the teams. So I think it's very important to know the people. One thing I have very clear is that you individuals are nothing without the rest. We deliver through a team. We are all together on this mission, whatever the mission, the project is, and we have to make it work for everybody. So what I do is listen, and I need to know every member of my team, because every member of my team is different. And I need to understand what they like to do, what they don't like, so I can understand the skills and capabilities and make sure that everybody gets what they need. And you have to be always sending positive message. And if they cannot be so positive, at least very, very honest and transparent, and people appreciate that.
Yes.
And you build around all the teams, everybody will understand you care for them, you are counting on them, you tell them what is the role they play, the contribution to the team, and very transparent conversations, and you have it. I have never failed with any team because I've been one of them. I cannot be successful without my team. So I have to make sure that I dedicate my efforts to make it work. It's about them. It's not about me. It's about the rest. It has to work for them. They have to be happy, not me, they.
But I need to pick you up on that. So you are making everybody happy, which is a fantastic take. But where do you go for your own support and for your own care? Just to make sure you keep showing up as the wonderful, authentic self that you are always.
So as you said, if they are happy, I am happy because things are working well for everybody. That's where it comes from. I don't need anything else. I do my best, and the satisfaction I get is when I see, oh, this is working. Everybody's happy. I have achieved that with the team, and that's what makes me the happiness. That's all. I don't need more.
So, quick question, attitude and talent, what do you think is most important to success?
Attitude.
Why is that?
I think that, of course, you need to have some talent, but attitude is everything for me. What I like most of everything is to develop teams.
Yeah.
And I always say, give me whoever. I just need the right attitude. I just need people willing to be positive, willing to care for others, willing to have the right behaviors, and I will teach them everything. You don't need, everybody has capabilities and skills to give add value.
Yeah.
The attitude is something you choose. You choose to come to work and be happy, or you choose to be unhappy. You choose to help, or you choose not to help. So the attitude is a decision you take.
Yes.
And this is what I really need, people with the right attitude. The skills, we will all help you. People working with others will help to reach to the level we need them. But the attitude is something that for me is first. Without the right attitude, I cannot do anything with people.
Gosh, your answers are just brilliant, Carmen. So who are the 3 people who have influenced your career so far? Have you had mentors? Have you had coaches? Or is it people within your network?
To be honest, I haven't. I never had a coach, and I know that is something very typical. And I think it's maybe because it was not so normal to have one when I was younger.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was now something that everybody, I wish I had, but I didn't. For me, one person who inspired me more than anybody was my dad. And I will tell you why. It's because he was an engineer and he always worked doing what he loved to do.
Yes.
And he was always in peace. You know, he never wanted, they wanted to promote him to be a man in an office. And he said, no, I want to be on the field. I want to be an engineer doing the engineer job. That's what I love to do. And he has been always so happy that I learned that I will always do what I want to do. And one of the reasons I could believe in a company is I will leave when I'm not happy. I will never stay in a company if I'm not happy. I don't think it's fair for the company, and I don't think it's fair for me. So I'm very honest with myself. And as long as I am happy and enjoying the job, I will stay. But if I'm not enjoying it, as my father did, I will leave and find the right one for me. So for me, this is what makes me feel I'm always in a positive mood.
Yes.
If I'm not happy, I go. I have to go and find something that will make me happy and I can make others happy.
So, Carmen, you decided to leave Spain, come to the UK. And when you decided to start your business, you decided to start your business in China. Tell us about that chapter.
Well, I left Barclays after 6 years, and then I had to decide what I wanted to do. And I said, look, professionally, I have proved myself. All I wanted to prove myself. So I would like to know, and I always wanted to know how good I will be doing business. So then I decided, okay, what I'm good at, I like to encourage people to do things different. This is my energy. I have to take advantage of that. And as I'm telling you, I like to develop people. So I thought graduates, that would be great. So what I did was I created a platform. I had some help from teachers and professors from business schools that helped me to develop a platform online to develop skills and capabilities for the graduates, while I was sending them to work to China for 12 months. And China, because we are Europe, and I thought if I send the graduates to European countries, this is very easy. They go with university, we travel around. I don't think this is very challenging. If they go to Asia, they don't know the Chinese, it's a completely different culture. I will stretch them much more.
Yes.
So I went there, I started business, I went to China, I had a couple of contacts, and they loved the idea, and they start introducing me to different business and selling my story, which was to welcome graduates from Europe to work with their companies for 12 months. And After 6 months of development of the business, I started and sent 12 graduates to China who were very successful.
Wow.
I loved it.
So after that chapter, you decided to then come back into corporate. Tell us about that journey.
So after that, there were some challenges with immigration law in China. Yes. So I realized that what I was starting was quite big to be maintained only with my pocket money. I thought this was a big type of business that needed a lot of investment. So I sold the platform to a university in Europe. Wow. So then I said, I'm going back to the business, but I wanted to be in another country and I wanted to come to the UK. So I applied for different roles and they called me from Lloyds. And again, the same, they offered me 3 roles and say, take the one you want more. You are very different, but you are very international. And they have to go through a transformation. So they found that I could help them. So I joined in 2014 and I was with them for 5 years.
Yes. And you told me that every time you start a company, you know there'll be a point where you have to leave because, you know, the job you're doing is very tough. So tell me about that, because some people will be thinking, why does she keep moving on? So they can understand the full picture.
Well, I move on because the type of jobs I normally get, they are very related to transformation. Okay. This could be because merge or acquisition of companies, they need to transform the culture. There is a new business strategy, a new operating model. There's a big change going on. And I have to say that in some occasions, I have to do very unpopular things. They have big restructurings to be delivered. And you cannot do something very unpopular that people find difficult to understand. And after that, hello, I'm here to tell you a positive message, and now we are going to be happy. No, you understand, it's the moment to leave.
Yes.
So you deliver, you leave things ready for the next chapter, but you need to understand that you cannot be part of the next chapter.
Yes.
So you have to be very honest with yourself. Yes. And sometimes when you are going through the transformation, you can see that your job will be the one that will disappear, for example. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to be ready to have that conversation and say, look, I know after 1 year I will have to go. But why do you say that? Because we know there is not a big role or there is not a job anymore. And people said always, oh, Carmen, you are so mature. No, it's just realistic.
Yes.
But I rather prefer myself controlling the decisions than others doing that for me.
Yes.
I prefer to have that conversation and see what they think. And that's why sometimes I have to move on, because after the project, there is no room for me.
Yeah. Oh, that is just a completely different way of approaching things. And so, Carmen, I'm really intrigued, as you said, of your energy, how you show up. And I'm wondering what your daily routine is. I'm very fascinated by routines at the moment. So what time do you get up and what do you do to ensure you have a fantastic day?
Well, I get up at 6:30 every day, and I start working at 7:15. So I start reading mails and catch-ups. I'm not going to say that I am enjoying it the best thing in my life, because we are in Zoom calls. I will be in Zoom calls from, and Nana knows that very well, I will be in calls from 8:30 in the morning till 5 o'clock or 6. So then I need to start reading mails that I haven't read, but I try to go swimming at 8:15 p.m. at night. I go with my family, my kids go to the gym, they are 16 and 18, my husband as well, and I go to the swimming pool until 9, so 45 minutes. Then we have dinner, we are Spanish, so we have dinner late, and then I read something and then I go to bed. Not very, very attractive way to do that, but all my life, I have been very dedicated to work from Monday to Friday. I have 3 kids, and I always had a nanny to help me because I have to work really hard, travel, be everywhere. And I was lucky enough to have someone helping me. Yes. But Weekends, I will never, ever work at all. After 5, 6 on a Friday, I just stop and I completely change my mindset. I will not think about work, even if it's the last day of earth. I will not be thinking about work. So my weekends are completely for me and for my family. And this is the way my energy go back for Mondays.
So you don't feel any guilt around that, because the culture in large corporate organizations is to be constantly switched on and constantly available.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. I am dedicating 12, 13, 14 hours, which I feel is quite enough, but I will never read any mail, not even my BlackBerry on a weekend. I'm sorry, for my well-being, I need 2 days for me and I use them. No worries. And I've done a lot of transformation. I will never take one single problem from work home. Never. I can be transforming, restructuring the world, but I will not take anything home. It's my space, it's my moment, and it's only for me. No. My mind, switch off, no work, family, fun, and it's very easy for me to switch from one to the other.
But when you're working from home and your home is your office, how do you physically do that?
Well, I have to work most of the time in my own bedroom because my kids were in rooms. My husband is also working from home. For me, it's easy. No drama. Okay, this is what it is. So we just have to be happy. At least I put my laptop in front of a window and I can see the trees.
Yes,
and it's like a different space, and that's what we need to do. So what? I'm not bothered. I'm fine, and just fine. I know other people has gone through difficult, but for me, just other people are worse than we are. So just move on.
So when are you your happiest, Carmen? What place brings you the most joy, the most happiness?
Oh, when I'm with my family. I'm a very family-oriented person. I have 4 brothers with kids, grandchildren, and my parents. We are 30. So in a Sunday that I'm not there now, altogether we'll be 30 people, and it's when I have more fun. I love it. It's the best moment for me to be with all my family and all the kids and noise and all the children running around. I think it's the best to be part of a big family. I don't need more than that.
I know. I come from a massive family myself, and you don't need anyone to have a party. You just call your sisters and they turn up and you put on music. And
you have the party.
And the loudest family on the block. But it gives you so much joy. And I think through the pandemic as well, you just realize just how much joy you get from being connected to your family and friends as well.
Absolutely.
So what gadgets can you not live without, Carmen? What do you use at work to stay productive?
Well, I'm very concentrated, right? The time I dedicate to work, I'm working. I cannot talk to people. I cannot do anything else. I have to be very concentrated. If I think I'm losing concentration, I will go for a walk, 10 minutes, or I will go for a cup of coffee. But I have learned, I suppose, to be very concentrated, and that's all I need. I have to be focused. I never talk to my mom or anything. Everything has to be done. And she's in Spain, she has cancer, and I have to talk to her on the phone. But I do that at night because I need to be very concentrated.
So you have your block when it's work, no wasting time on any internet at all. And you finish and it's family completely.
Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing. I think that kind of discipline can only make you mentally,
Yeah. And I will tell anybody if they say, no, for my well-being, that's what I need. And I take my kids to rugby, football, wherever they have to go. I'm the only mom. Normally, they are the parents who are around the boys. I only have boys. Yes. And I'm always with them. I go everywhere. No. It's full time. I will not answer. If it's urgent, give me a call. But I will never look for mails.
So you've said that in your career, you've always been around men. From the age of 30, you were a director. So what's the question you're most tired of being asked as a female? The question you're most tired of being asked as a female leader.
How can I manage a family and having 3 kids and be successful professionally. The idea
Yes.
of the 3 kids, they found, wow, how can you have 3 kids? That's what I have heard more than anything.
And why don't you like that question?
Well, because nobody asked that to the men. Have you ever heard a man being asked, wow, and you have 3 kids and you are successful? I've never heard that around me. I've been in executive committees since I was 32 years old.
Yeah.
And this has always been in every interview, how you are going to manage your family to get this new job. If you have to travel, what are you going to do about your family?
Yes.
And I don't like it because I have my experience here. Why you have to ask me about family? If I have 10 children and I've been successful, who cares how I've done it?
Yes.
Honest, I don't. And it's something that we need to live with it. And I have to say, I have not been always around my kids. It's true, because I have to, and I always need help, which my mom was around to help me. But, I never felt guilty.
Yeah.
This is the 21st century, and this is the moment of the history I have to live, which means men and women both work.
Yes.
And we still deliver babies. So I have to manage everything the best way I can, but I'm not going to feel guilty for living in the moment I have to live. No, I take the best of everything. My kids love me, and they have seen a mom on weekends more than anything.
Yes.
I'm the best mom they have seen.
They have no choice, Carmen.
They have no choice, exactly.
They absolutely have no choice.
And that's the reality they have seen. They get used to what they see. They cannot compare with anything else.
Yes.
So,
but so many women feel guilty. You're guilty if you choose to work and pursue a career, to start a business. You're guilty if you choose to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. And the guilt is driving some people out of work because they want to feel less guilty. Now, I very similar to you. I don't feel guilty because we make it work. My husband has a busy job and I have my own business, and we make it work. And the children understand that. We're a family that works.
That's the life we have to live.
Yes.
What can we do about it? I think that we need to be independent. We need to have our own money. We need to try to contribute in different ways. And for me, working, it's critical to make my harmony at home work. So I'm not going to sacrifice my life for others because I don't think they will be happy. And I will not be guilty. Like you say, we are not guilty. No.
Wow. I love that. And last but not least, Carmen, what book are you reading now? And I love your answer already. So tell us your opinion on business books.
Well, what I said to you, Griselda, before was like, if you're expecting me reading a lot of business books, that's not me. When I was young, or many times I hear people saying, well, I'm reading 5 books at the same time. And I'm like, oh my God, I must be stupid because I just read one. And I love reading. I need to read every night. It's something that I need. But this is part of my well-being as well.
Yes.
I will read something that relaxes me. And what I like most is books about biographies of kings and queens.
Yes.
Novels. So the last one I read, which I like it very much because she was a very brave woman, was Aquitania.
Yes.
So that's what I live, to read about queens that they have made a difference in their lives.
Yes.
And that's what I like. So I'm not going to talk to you about any business books. And I admire those who can read 5. I read one every night, and it's about queens.
Oh, brilliant. So, Carmen, what's next for you? What's your next chapter? What should we be looking to see coming from you? Because you're just such a joy to interview and a joy to be around.
Well, I'm thinking about, I would go, my next job, I would like to be in Asia. I would like to go back there and work there. So I have to think what I'm going to do next. or start my own business and try to coach others and transmit some energy to others, which I think I can do very well. So I will share with you as soon as I know, Griselda.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us for this excellent session. As you can see, I've had a girl crush on Carmen through the interview because she's just absolutely amazing and full of energy. If you're new to Carmen and you'd like to follow her, she is on LinkedIn, so you can connect with her there. If you're new to Forward Ladies, you can go to our website and join us with a free 14-day trial. So you can become a member and join our events, access resources, find mentors like Carmen, and just engage with other women who are just, trying to create their own success and live life on their own terms. So this podcast will now be uploaded to YouTube and Spotify and iTunes, and you can access it as well at any time. And I have to say, Nana, thank you so much for organizing this the whole interview and for introducing me to Carmen. As you said, she's absolutely amazing, and you're so lucky to be working together. So thank you, everyone. Take care. Goodbye.
Thank you.